Hi, I just wanted to give you a little help with the homework from the skills practice page 406, where you are asked to write equivalent expressions without parentheses and combined terms if possible. So I was going to do two problems here. I'm going to do number 5 and then another one from this page. So I'm just going to recopy the problem that is in the skills practice here on this paper. So as I'm looking at, if I'm going to be combining like terms, one of the first things I want to do, my first step is I want to look through and make sure everything is addition. And where I don't see addition, I'm going to use the same change rule. So same change. So in this case, my only place where I would do that is subtraction here. So I'm going to write everything else the same. So 4, and then x, same, change subtract 2, add, change 6 to its opposite, -6. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see that I have to multiply 4 times this quantity, so I'm going to use the distributive property. So that would be 4 times x and 4 times -6. That's why I wanted to change subtract to add, and the other number to its opposite. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times -6 is -24. And I can bring that addition sign down, or I can just see this as subtracting 24. But I need to copy that 30. It's still there. I can't lose it. So the last thing I'm going to do is combine the like terms. And so I scan through and I say, okay, I have this one has an x in it. Does anything else here have an x in it? Nope. So 4x is by itself. And then I look at the other things. So I have -24 and 30. So constants are like terms. So now I'm going to combine them. I'm going to add them. -24 plus 30. I know my integer rules. So different signs subtract this time and keep the larger sign. So the answer will be +6. And we're adding, because we changed all the subtraction to addition, so we know the terms are being added. This is my final answer. It doesn't have any like terms, and there's no parentheses, so I followed the directions. There's number 5. So now let's look at number 14. Number 14 is one of the evens, so if you're doing the evens, this would be one that you will do for homework. I'm going to recopy it, just so I can write on it then. So there's problem number 14. I look through, and remember, if we're going to be combining like terms, our first step is to use the same change rule. So there's nothing to be changed here. I'm still adding 6, but now I see subtract 7/6. So I'm going to keep same, change subtract to, add, and then this becomes -7/6. Why? But now, okay, so now I'm under another one. So keep that the same for now. Change subtract to, add, and change that to a -4. So now I've gotten rid of all the subtraction, and all I'm doing is adding. There isn't any place for me to distribute. I don't have parentheses I have to use the distributive property for, so that's done. So the next thing I need to do is look for like terms. So I'm going to scan through and see, okay, this has a y in it. Does anything else have a y in it? Here's my other y term, constant. All right, so now that means I'm going to combine. I'm going to do 1/6 y plus -7/6 y. Now you don't have to do this extra step here. I'm just doing it so I can show it to you. So if I'm going to try and add these two, they have different signs. So different signs, subtract this time and keep the larger sign. So I'm going to subtract 7/6 minus 1/6. That's going to give me 6/6. 7/6 minus 1/6 is 6/6. But since the negative is on the -7, that's bigger, then it's -6/6. Why? Well, I should know that. We'll come back to that in a little bit. I take it back. So now we're going to look through and see that the only thing left are constants, 6 and -4. So I can always add constants together. Different signs subtract this time and keep the larger sign. So I'm going to be adding these together, okay? And I'm going to get +2, subtract, +3. Now this is not simplified yet because of this fraction. So I can look at this fraction and say, Negative 6 over 6, well, 6 over 6 is just 1, so this is negative 1y plus 2. Now, we don't need we can make that 1 invisible, and then we would just have negative y plus 2, and now it's in simplest form. So, these are 2 examples of how you were to be doing your homework and the steps you could take to simplify the expressions. I hope that helped you. Have a great night.